is the biggest red wave I've seen since Ronald Reagan's 49-state victory.
There were appeals to racism in this campaign, and there is racial bias in this country, and there is sexism in this country.
I can't help but wonder if the American people have given up on democracy.
I hear what you're saying, and I do see it differently because I'm thinking about the people who are not a part of anybody's elite, who are hurting tonight.
If she were a 6'4" white man from Arkansas or from, Florida, do you think she would be losing by that much?
I think that we've got to be honest. Among Hispanic men and black men, there's a lot of misogyny.
There are African American women who know a little bit about being talked down to and know a little bit about having their economic dreams crushed, who tried to dream a big dream over the past couple of months.
It's not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy.
There's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. Mm-hmm. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men.
And tonight they're trading in a lot of hope for a lot of hurt. And they were hoping that maybe this time, one of their own could be seen as worthy.
Things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States.
To all the pollsters, the election pollsters, me. I don't ever want to from you again, ever.
People who said that he was a Hitler lover weren't Democrats, they were Republicans. People who said that he was a fascist weren't Democrats, they were Republicans who worked for him.
You gotta be kidding.
Look alive, it's time to stop. What you're doing, it's 8 o'clock. Friday night pizza show is on tap. LFS6B is where it's at. Whoa, oh. America's voice is the place to be. Got Slick, Delgado, and of course Big D. The show to watch, LFS6B. Yeah, yeah, LFS6B. Does sports and dresses to the nines. Big D loves when he says it's rodeo time. Delgado might wear the tinfoil hat, but we all love what even is that. Aaron and Fran always holding it down. We look forward to another crazy town. Kevin Downey Jr. fills another seat. His sharp wit and wisdom can't be beat. America's voice is the place to be. Got Slick, Delgado, and of course Big D. The show to watch, LFS6B. Yeah, LFS6B. Big D looking good in his cowboy hat, always intrigued where David Sears at. Our main man Harry is certainly no slouch. Come on, Harry, get the ass out of the couch. America's voice is the place to be. Got Slick, Delgado, and of course Big D. The show to watch, LFS6B. Ooh yeah, LFS6B. If you want some fun along with good insight, tune in 8 to 10 weeknights. Plenty of merchandise to be had. The odds makers reveal whose picks are bad. Hello, America's voice is the place to be. Got Slick, Delgado, and of course Big D. The show to watch, LFS6B. Yeah, yeah, LFS6B.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 4 minutes past the hour, 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night, November 6th. Slick's here doing sports. Rick Delgado's going to do the news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always.
And Damon had some time off today, and
no, that wasn't me. His logo was buried in there. I couldn't see who it is,
Really?
but no, I found that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That is awesome. Is right.
Wow.
Let's go live out to the Trump route. Oh, I got like a twitch from having to say that. I don't have to say it anymore.
No.
We don't have to go anywhere.
It's weird.
It is weird.
I don't know what to do now.
What are we doing for 2 hours?
Yeah. We're supposed to talk now?
I think so. I think we have 2 hours to do here. Yeah.
Oh crap! I don't think I did any show prep.
Well, so it's just back to where
Things never change.
Some things never change.
Shut up, Slick.
What was the question?
Well, I'll go first. I don't know about you guys, man, but I didn't get a whole lot of sleep. But when I did wake up this morning, I don't know, just hard not to feel energized, right?
Oh,
Slick.
Yeah, unbelievable, Big D. I just driving home last night after we did the great show over at the America's First Warehouse. You know what? The roads were empty, but they looked different to me. I can't tell you why, but the street lights, everything just looked better to me. Isn't that crazy? I don't know.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes.
Everything looked
yes,
better.
it is. That is.
It just
bonkers.
looked better for my windshield, man.
Okay,
Come on.
maybe it was Windex. Maybe somebody cleaned it
I
before you
don't
drove
know.
to the America's
I'm
First
just
Warehouse.
saying, man. I had something in my head said, man, maybe it's because I'm on a clear path now to something good with this guy. Amen.
Oh, okay. Maybe your eyes, maybe your vision, Slick. Vision for the future.
Yes, sir. Just felt better.
Well, man, Joe the Box. What a time last night, huh?
Yeah, good stuff.
Oh,
Good stuff. Great.
Oh my
great
God, that
setup.
room was electric.
yeah.
Electric was that? That was a madhouse. Electric.
Yep.
The you could just, man, the energy was just especially as we built through the night.
It was the hottest room north of Mar-a-Lago last night, I think.
I think it was too.
Yep.
I don't think there was a better place to be than in that room. Joe the Box set it up, man. The food trucks outside.
Oh, the food trucks are awesome.
The bar,
Can I just
DJ
say-
in the other warehouse.
We were
dancers.
stakeholders at the food trucks.
Can I just say about the Dilly Dilly Donuts? Holy moly. That was awesome.
Oh, me and Slick didn't hit the old. We didn't get to the donut truck.
We went straight for the skirt steak, man. We weren't skirting any issues.
we were not skirting any issues last night. We went Slick. Come on, let's go over there and get them steak sandwiches.
Big D got the bonanza one. Three guys were carrying it out.
Well, that's a lie. That's a vicious lie. Yours was a little small. Yours was 2 pieces.
Yeah, me and Vin had the little guy. Yeah,
because you invented little guys.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Exactly.
what did it?
You had the 4 ounce. I had the 8 ounce or
Yours
6
came out. I
ounce,
was like,
whatever
oh, I
it was.
should have got that.
It marinated.
Yeah.
Oh man, the bread was soft and it was Frank steaks.
That set the tone for the night. Because we did have a lot of steak going into last night, man. That's for sure.
And of course, I was representing the Latino community with the 4-pack of tacos.
You were.
That's
Freaking
what you
awesome.
got. Yeah, how are those?
Those were insane. Street tacos.
Thanks to your
Awesome.
brothers for showing up in the vote
I know.
blasters today too. God bless you guys.
Yes,
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I thought the Puerto Rican community was.
They got the joke. I can tell you that.
Yeah, we heard. I thought they weren't going to show up and show out.
Yeah, well, obviously the pollsters, as Jon Stewart pointed out, don't ever contact him again. You might need to search for new jobs because you're kind of terrible at what you got one job and you still get it wrong.
Yeah, let me just say this to all our friends on the other side of the aisle: the media lies and continued to lie to all of you throughout this whole process. They lied to you. They lied more. They lied more. You bought it, hook, line, and sinker. And they will continue to lie because the media is still the biggest poison on the body politic, and they're not going anywhere. They'll learn no lessons. I don't care what they sound like today. You listen to the media today, here's what is very clear. Social media from the left today. Besides the breakdowns, which we'll get to some of those later too. The overall theme, I don't know if you guys saw it. I'm sure the audience saw it. Welcome on in, by the way, to our just fantastic audience. YouTube, X, Rumble, Getter, wherever you're watching. Hit the like and subscribe. Man, the numbers last night on the streams from all platforms were phenomenal. And people stuck with us the whole time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Crazy numbers. Crazy watch times. Crazy, all the analytics of people just didn't go anywhere. Watched all the way. So anyways, what I saw all day was this is not even about Donald Trump. The only people the left hates more than Donald Trump is the country itself.
Right. Yeah, true.
It was not about Donald Trump today. This is not about Trump. This is about the misogyny all over this. This is about the stupid people. It was all about you and me and the rest of us.
Right.
It was not about Donald Trump. He was the second. He was the afterthought to their vile comments today. It was about you. It was about you, you, and you, most of all.
The white men, the Hispanic men, the black men, the Indian men, the Chinese men. Basically any man they could find.
Any demographic they could put in a box and frame it up.
And say, you just don't want to vote for a black woman. That wasn't the case.
I heard that this morning.
We'd vote for a black woman if she was great. Turns out your choice sucked. Just take the L. Just admit that she was a terrible candidate. Probably the worst. I've heard her compared to worse than Walter Mondale, and he sucked. And he was a white guy.
Ooh, thank you, 1970s.
Poof.
Yeah.
And what's amazing is it's not like we didn't know she was a terrible candidate. It's not like she hadn't been on the ballot before.
Yeah.
It's not like the Democrat Party themselves didn't have a choice with her there to say, what do we think of her?
Yeah.
Let's see how she does. You've done that. You went through that process.
Yeah, the Democratic Party already rejected her. Completely. She didn't make it to Iowa.
Didn't make it to Iowa.
Didn't get 1% of the vote.
Pulled skim milk.
She got destroyed and escorted out of the race. Probably one of the first ones to get escorted out of the race. And she was the black woman you said everyone should vote for. But you guys wouldn't even vote for her. You picked a white guy. Remember? Oh, they don't like to remember those things.
I mean, it is the sweetest of sweet karma that basically Barack and Michelle Obama, Bill and Hillary Clinton, Joe and the good Dr. Biden, Kamala Harris and Doug, the Waltz family, leftism as a whole, got a complete repudiation from the people that they tried to supposedly tell us they represent, most of all. Working class, red-blooded Americans across this country said, no.
Yeah.
We do not believe where you've tried to take us for 3.5 years, and we do not believe we want to continue down this road.
Yeah. No matter how much the media tried to tell you she was a great candidate. After telling you for 3 years, wow, she's probably a drag on the ticket. We should probably replace her. Oh, you forgot that part too, huh? Because that's what we got for the last 3 years. She wasn't the best pick for vice president, but, it's and now all of a sudden, ooh, she's the anointed one. Didn't work out.
And her speech today when she referenced Joe and Dr. Jill and his statement today, Biden's about hers, just confirms what we all already know. The hatred runs deep.
Oh, yeah.
All right, just getting started live from Studio 6B, a full show.
What's that?
What is that? What even is that?
What even is that? We're back to keep it going right after this.
I'm going to address that.
Well, what do you mean you're going to address it?
I'm going to address it. Why I haven't done it yet.
Well, why haven't you?
I will tell you. I'm not going to tell you now in the chat.
Oh, maybe he's going to tell us. Maybe he's going to tell us that New York is still in play. He's waiting.
Yeah.
Other than Slick, is everyone
all
else's
the votes
IFB
have not
okay?
been counted yet.
Yeah, that must be it. What'd you say, Fran?
So other than Slick, is everyone else's IFB okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just heavy right. Nothing
That's
left.
that's your earbuds. That's not, or the pack itself. That's not the.
And I just gave
send.
Slick a different pack, and he's fine now.
Yeah, I think the pack is on the wrong frequency.
I think that's the one you guys were trying to adjust last night.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
All right, let me switch over to this one, see if it's any different.
Are we live in the chat? We're live in the chat. I got to go to the chat boxes. Chat boxes, rumblers coming over. Hold on. Just
Hello, test 1, 2. Oh, God, this is worse.
Rumble.
Was that the one Rick had?
No, I don't think.
Throw this one in the
yeah,
garbage.
that's the one. That's the one Rick had. No, that's the one that needs to be put on the right frequency.
No, this one needs to go put out the pasture. That thing is horrible.
Coffee.
Test 1 2. Yeah, it's just in the right ear on this one, but it's fine.
All right, getting back to.
I mean, technically, those things are mono, so.
Do they sell just these packs? Can we get new packs?
We got to see if we can get them in the same frequency range.
Or just get a whole new thing? 'Cause this thing is.
I mean, it's probably just the same price to buy the whole unit again.
Yeah, that's what we should probably do.
Here's Mark 45 and get her. Harry got off his ass. He did.
There he did, yes.
Sure did.
Yes.
Howdy,
What's going on,
Riddlers?
everybody? YouTube, Facebook, X. Come on in. Hit the like button. Smash the like.
Smash it. Yeah.
Big D's
Subscribe to
building
the
a nice
channel.
Morning crowd there with the YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Got a
With the
nice
YouTube?
chat there.
Facebook, no sound. Who else? I mean, there's a couple thousand people on Facebook. I don't see anybody saying that other than one person. Why is that?
Saying what?
Sometimes when you start it on Facebook, it's muted.
You may have to hit the actual, it might mute it automatically. You have to hit the button that. Yeah, the mornings are fun, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you, you got some great people. They could have their own shows on.
Bringing the audience in is great.
Damon asks them a question,
Howdy,
and they go on for
Twixers.
like 2 minutes. And they're really intelligent, good people.
Yeah.
Got a lot of great people on that show. So we may have to get interviewed for our job, Delgado. We may lose our jobs.
I like the morning.
Yeah, it's a nice.
We just
format.
need more people to do it.
Yeah, well, that's it. You got to get more people to come on. I know there's some.
They're
people,
like afraid. I don't know why.
some people don't want to go on camera. You know,
You can go on just the audio.
Yeah, the audio is great.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's go back out to the Trump rally. No. 17 past the hour. Slick's here. He's going to do some sports. I got to get out of that habit.
He caught me off guard. I'm like, what?
Rick Delgado's here. He's going to do the news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. So just to put a wrap on the first segment, I just want to thank Joe the Box and the America's First Warehouse, and specifically Martin.
Yeah.
Aaron, and Fran, all three of them were nothing short of
Amazing.
I mean, amazing, I guess is the word to use, but that's really underselling them.
Yep.
Well, especially because it was the first time we attempted something like
Yeah, for what they did in the short amount of time we had to do it.
That's right.
And everybody commented on how the production looked. I got so many comments about actually how it looked, specifically from people who maybe saw other things there. And said, it looked different. Well, we took the time to make sure it looked different. And they did a fantastic job. Martin, who's over there, is, I mean, man. Whew.
He graciously allowed us to rip his whole setup apart to put ours in.
He's patient.
I mean, he's just like you guys. There's nothing you can't ask him that they can't figure out how to do.
Right.
I mean, he's just like the two of you. It's just whatever you ask them,
Yeah.
they just, they'll have an answer in two seconds.
Patience of a saint, too, the guy. Patience of a saint.
Well, yeah, dealing with us.
Yeah,
man.
well,
Oof.
dealing with you. Whoa, man.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, move that.
But he was so happy at the end of the night, and so was Joe, of course, Joe the Box.
Yeah.
We were talking about how we maybe do something over there in a little more of a continuous nature.
Joe really wants to get into the media world there. You know,
Like
he
a
told me
Friday
last
Night Live?
Yeah. With the little music.
With a little audience?
Yeah,
That
nice.
could be cool.
Whoa, look out.
So much going on there, boy.
Friday Night Live at the America's First Warehouse every Friday night. Reserve 100 tickets for every Friday. We'll just book them out in advance. People can make a plan to come in, be a part of the show.
Yep.
Oh, man, that could get crazy.
Hooked him up with some Frank Steak
Get Frank
sandwiches.
Steak's truck out.
That alone's worth the trip.
Oh, my
Get Frank Steak's food truck there outside.
Frank's truck.
Dilly Dilly Donuts. Dilly Dilly Donuts.
Dilly Dilly Donuts.
Yeah.
We got to figure out the cigar deal, though. That's really the holdup for me. If I
Yeah,
can't.
Joe will hook up with it outside.
Yeah,
area
we'll have to
do
figure that out.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, see, Tweet Potato already says I would have to make a plan to go up there.
Yeah.
You know, there was a woman, I forgot her name now because it was late when I saw her, that she drove down, and she could be watching tonight. She drove down from
4 hours.
Massachusetts. Yeah.
4 hours.
Oh, you talked to her too?
Yeah, she came up
okay,
and said
great.
hello before she had to drive home.
Yeah.
You know,
At
And I
2
told
o'clock
her-
in the morning.
I told her, make sure you say hello to everybody because I saw her in the crowd, but I didn't see her until I went to off to the side when we were on a break, and she was telling me that her mom is a huge fan. but her mom wasn't there. I guess she just went to Florida or something. But that she drove down 4 hours, 4+ hours from Massachusetts.
Unbelievable.
And from the Get a Chat in Yonkers, he's been on for a long time. He suggested, because he couldn't make it last night, he was running late. I had him on the guest list. But he said, how about a Studio 6B holiday party? That would be something, huh? Invite everybody out there. Woof, that'd be nice.
Where would we do that?
At Joe, we do it
at Joe's, a holiday party?
And we invite all the guests. Maybe they'll come up.
Well, Aaron will go. Aaron loves that idea.
Aaron's ready.
And you could dress
but
up.
Aaron's here.
You could dress
how many
up
people are
like,
going to come here from all over the country to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, live stream and then party after.
2-hour show. We could bring on all of our
2-hour show, 8-hour party. Let's go.
And I could interview our viewers. We could interview them from the desk, And,
well, okay.
Well, it's just something to think about. Might
right
be
after the RAV open, we should do that.
Yeah, we should.
Delgado, the audience has brought up the point
right
here.
after Nashville.
Yes.
I mean, we should probably be doing more important things than just jabbering here.
You mean Flo Obama?
But who cares?
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Why haven't you shaved?
Good question.
You were supposed to after he won.
I was supposed to. Getting home last night, I was too freaking tired. There was no way I was going to do it. Would have kept me up. I had to be up early this morning for work, so I couldn't do it then. Then
That's
I came.
also lame.
Then I had to rush from work, take my mom to her therapy appointment. Then I had to rush home, take my nap, and then I got up and I came here. I've had no time.
Really?
Slick, what do you think about those excuses?
But
I think it's baloney.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, how do I integrate this? Should I do it on the show?
No, please.
Should I record it?
No.
Because people might want to see it.
Nobody cares. Just get rid of it.
You sure?
Yeah. Nobody cares.
I think I might. Erin said I should record it.
All right, Erin, maybe she'll do it. She can make a big production of it. Okay.
She thought it would be a good bit, she said.
So, you two plan it out, and we'll run it in the 11 o'clock hour. So let's talk about
hour number 3. Awesome.
I asked this morning on people who are on the stream, and I'll ask it now for the audience out there, and you can put it in the chat. What do we want the first couple things on the list for Trump? Not only transition team. Of course, the first thing we'll talk about is personnel. That's going to be the first thing up. Who is personnel? Who are we looking at? Is there an article in the New York Post today? Here's who could be in Trump's cabinet as transition team president-elect strategize on appointments. And I happened to see Sarah Carter, the great Sarah Carter, investigative reporter, asked this question about what do we want to see from 47 in the first, what's the first thing you want him to do? And which, of course, leads to really more of what do you want to see in the first 100 days? What's the first couple things you want to see him do? And I actually read through the comments from the people who responded to her, and I thought some of them were interesting. A lot of them were similar. But to talk about personnel, there's this article in the Post. It says, President Trump, fresh off his emphatic victory over Harris, is spending Wednesday with his team in Palm Beach strategizing about how to fill out his second administration. The Trump transition team has been at work for months and are preparing for an internal unveiling, campaign advisor Brian Hughes told the New York Post today, though the discussions among aides this week is expected to focus on process rather than particular nominee names. Sources close to Trump campaign said they expect a series of Republican Senate victories to ease Trump's return to power, allowing him greater flexibility to go with his gut and pick cabinet secretaries who align with his populist policies. Most of the transition work is expected to take place at Mar-a-Lago, where allies and advisors have long gathered to bend the ear of the president-elect. In addition to the cabinet secretaries, there are about 4,000 presidential nominees in the executive branch who do not require Senate confirmation, with those picks fleshing out the federal bureaucracy and shaping its bent. So who's overseeing this? Where Howard Lutnick is, CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, and Linda McMahon. Oh, I thought he didn't have strong women around him. Oh, Linda McMahon, who led the Small Business Administration during Trump's first term. The transition team also includes Eric and Don Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, and, of course, J.D. Vance. Trump is expected to make the highest profile picks himself. So let's talk about his cabinet. Chief of Staff. Delgado, any...
I have no clue who he should pick for Chief of Staff. Kash Patel, maybe, but I think he's got other plans for him.
Yeah, he's an intelligence guy.
Right.
He's not a Chief of Staff kind of guy. In the audience, you can throw your names in, and I'll tell you who the Post has here. Chief of Staff. Someone who's going to spend a lot of time with the president. Make sure his, Chief of Staff basically does. Any names immediately come to mind for Chief of Staff? Someone says Steve Bannon. Someone says Vivek. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh.
Another Bannon. Rick Grinnell. Well, let me tell you who the Post has. The Post has right now his campaign co-chair, Susie Wiles, as a name being floated about.
But that would be a strong woman. He doesn't do that, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, wait till you hear the third one, too. Second one is former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah, I've heard that name bandied about, and I was like, yee.
I don't think I don't like that one.
Third one is former White House Domestic Policy Advisor Brooke Rollins. Another, she doesn't really fit because another strong woman. Trump doesn't do that. Susie Wiles and Brooke Rollins up for Chief of Staff with McCarthy stuffed in the middle. Of course, the most important pick is the Attorney General pick. Delgado, anybody popping in your mind immediately on that?
Who was the guy? Mike Davis that you had talked about as Attorney General?
Mike Davis is somebody who's been very out front at the Article 3 project.
But I saw something today where he says, I'm not confirmable.
Yes.
So it's like, all right, I don't know that I would have to defer to who they think would be the best person. Hopefully it's not somebody who's a total mush and who's not a deep state player.
Let's hit the break. We'll come back and banty some names around. Attorney General, of course, is going to be the most important pick that Trump makes. And will have a lot to do with how successful these 4 years are. All right, we're live in the chat. Second break. What's going on? Child of the King, Super Chat. Thank you very much.
Hey, who's the dude?
It went by so fast I couldn't read it, but I saw it.
Who's the guy? Who's the Attorney General? Is it out of Missouri? Who's done
Eric
some
Schmidt.
really good stuff?
One of the first things Trump needs to do on the list of many, implement Schedule F so they can remove all the commies embedded in the government. Okay. Child of the King, 45-47. I love I love how she picks the amounts, 45 and 47. So 45-47. Thank you for the super chat. Great way to support the show and great way to catch my attention. Tommy Viper, what's going on? Chief of Staff Sarah Huckabee Sanders, interesting. I think she doesn't want to I think she's more beneficial to us where she is right now.
King Koenig on the YouTube says Eric Prince for Chief of Staff.
Bannon was talking to him last night in the after party there.
I feel like he's got so many good people to pick from. Like, I keep seeing Rick Grinnell's name pop up. Rick Grinnell's going to be a great staff member. I just don't know where they think he's going to be strongest.
Boy, Grinnell was right on the money. I saw him out there yesterday morning, or maybe it was even the day before, saying something about Michigan. He said the media keeps trying to tell you that it's close in Michigan. He says, trust me, it's not. Boy, was he right about that.
Yep.
Hawley just got reelected last night.
Are they talking about, what's his name, Thomas Massey for agriculture?
I have not heard that bantered around.
I saw that bantied about, I think is the proper phrase. Oh my goodness. Yahoo on on YouTube says Megyn Kelly for press secretary.
I heard that multiple times today.
that would be must see TV.
I would think she would probably not want to give up her gig to do that. I think she's much more influential now.
It's amazing how she's kind of reinvented herself, right?
I've said it for a long time since she started that show.
She went from Fox to NBC, that big contract, the big gig that went nowhere. She was doing terribly, and then kind of reinvented herself after she was given her walking papers from NBC. Still paid out.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B, talking about some possible cabinet positions in 47's new administration. Attorney General is going to be is going to be the most important pick. As you see with Merrick Garland, what an Attorney General who's diabolical can do, and certainly we don't suspect that we would do that, have a diabolical one. But there is so much rot there that needs to be cleaned out, personnel that needs to be cleaned out, investigations that need to happen. By the way, let me just say this to all the people on the other side with the whole kumbaya now. Kumbaya, if you guys really want to it's kumbaya time. Yeah, no. No. If he hadn't won, you would have put him, Elon Musk, and anyone else associated with him in jail for the rest of his life, and you would have jumped up and down, danced on his grave, and laughed about it in about 28 days. So kumbaya now? I don't think so. Yeah. And by the way, I'm also one like Steve Bannon who thinks that the president will be way too magnanimous in this, as he was to Hillary Clinton.
Right.
And has laid the case out for why. Because unlike the despicable media who wants to portray him as Hitler, we saw how that worked out, by the way. Kia, keep that up. The president actually didn't think that was a good idea when he probably could have. And I suspect, even after everything they have tried, and if you listen to the New York Attorney General today in one of the more despicable press conferences I've ever seen, are still going to try to do whatever they can. He will probably still, I would bet, mostly take the high road.
Yep.
You know what? I hope he takes the high road. He takes the high road, but unleashes his people to do what they're supposed to do and follow up and find out who has broken the law and who has done things that they shouldn't have been doing and holds them accountable for it, because that's what's needed. He can be the good cop, but pick the bad cop and make sure that they are unleashed. I think that's what's deserved, because, you make mention of him and Elon and others around him being put in jail. This show would completely change. We would probably be shut down, because that's what censorship does. That's what tyrants do. They would have definitely then trained focus on all the media and all the social media they do not control and went right after it, because they would have been feeling, well, nobody can stop us now. And that's exactly what would have happened. And I think it's scary to acknowledge that, but that's how close it was. That's how I feel. Because we've seen it. We've seen, the Twitter files. We've seen the censorship that goes on with the social media, and you see what's going on in the UK. They're putting people in jail for hate speech. Hate speech. Well, who determines that? The government. Well, who's the government? Those guys. And if they look at us or look at any of the shows on this network or any media that they don't control, guess what? They can say, well, that's determined to be hate speech. We have to go after them. So, I think a lot more people won last night than realize it. Maybe a lot of us do realize it. I realized it pretty early on that things would change if she got elected, because they wouldn't be electing her. They'd be anointing her. They'd be putting her in power, and the people behind her would be the ones making the decisions. And those are the ones that are the scary ones.
So the Post, and again, I'm not exactly sure where the Post came up with these names. If it's from sources or they're just hearing names have been thrown around. For Attorney General, they have three choices here. Former acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker.
I love that guy.
Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry.
Never met him.
And Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt.
Oh, that's Eric Schmidt. That was one of the ones I mentioned.
He's good.
Yeah.
And of course, as I've said for, 8 months of this whole election season, my pick would be Brett Tolman, former U.S. attorney out of Utah. Strong. Man, as we were going through some of those lawfare, he was just And I think he's pretty widely respected and known. I've heard the great Mark Levin talking about him as maybe his choice also for Attorney General. But there are many. But it will be one heck of a job, and you will need somebody who is strong, determined. You're going to need somebody who is going to be very similar to the president.
Yeah.
In statute and backbone, and to take that job.
Not only take that job, but to not be influenced, not feel the pressure.
Right.
Just say, you know what?
Like Barr was.
Yeah, I don't need to make friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we'll go back to some names being bantered around for other, and we'll see what you want to see the president do first. So we'll get to that. But let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, MyPillow. LFS6B is the code to use if you shop at MyPillow. We appreciate when you do. Slickster, what's going on?
Oh, good news, Big D. We're going to get men out of women's sports finally next year. I can't wait. How many times did we hear that on the rally? And that's going to be something. We get that cleaned up. But, the states are going to push back, and we're going to have stuff like Hochul, they're going to try to push back and keep men and women's sports. But I know hopefully they could do a federal mandate, Big D, right? I'm not really sure how that works. I should look into that and find out. But we want to get men out of women's sports and out of their locker rooms and out of their bathrooms.
As the president says, it's amazing that has to be said.
It is. It is.
And that's what, of course, the country rejected last night.
Yep. Crazy. So let's get to some scores, Big D, if I can. It's been a while. I'm out of practice a little bit, but guess what? Just popped up. We got NCAA men's basketball in action now, Big D. We went away, and now the men's basketball is in action. March Madness, before you know it, it'll be here. Crazy, right? UConn, number 3 in the country right now, leads Sacred Heart 68-40. 9 to go there in the second half. Also, second half, 12 to go. We got Columbia over Villanova 56-55. Virginia leads Campbell 53-45. 6 to go there in the second half. First half, number 11 Auburn hosting Vermont. They're up 33-13 there. Arkansas over Lipscomb 29-30, 23 there. 3:36 to go in the first. Indiana, number 17, Indiana leads SIUE 26-25 to go there in the first. And LSU down south there leading UL Monroe 29-17 in the first. NHL action on the ice. Capitals and Predators tied at 1 down in D.C. 5 to go there in the second period. Red Wings and Blackhawks, no score in Chicago. 4 to go there in the first. Golden Knights up in Edmonton 8:30. Puck drop taking on the Oilers. NBA action. We got the Hornets over the Pistons 64-62. 4:47 to go there in the third. Pacers lead the Magic 72-65. 7 in the third as well. Knicks at the halftime down in Atlanta taking on the Hawks 65-61. The Hawks lead right there. Celtics trail the Warriors in Boston in the Garden, TD Garden 42-36. 2 minutes to go there in the second quarter. Rockets lead the Spurs 31-19. Want to get to a couple of stories. A lot of fallout from the election last night. Here we go. Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy celebrates 2024 election as indictment against the Democrats. Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart. Barstool Sports chief Dave Portnoy hit the nail on the head in explaining why Donald Trump won the presidential election this morning, and more importantly, why the Democrats lost. In the early morning hours after Trump finally won the 2024 race for the White House, Portnoy jumped to his X account to explain why he thinks the election went Trump's way. The self-professed moderate blamed it all on the extreme, hate-filled, shrill rhetoric employed by the Democrats and their wild-eyed surrogates in the mainstream media. Portnoy began his explanation by celebrating Trump's win, but also noted he won the electoral, he won the popular vote, he got more votes than the last time he was president. Just a total ringing endorsement for the Republicans and Donald Trump, and an indictment against the Democrats, and that's really this rant, is what the rant was about here. Portnoy quickly dived into it. A lot of people are asking how Trump got more votes than he got the last time. Well, here's the answer. Because people like myself, independents or moderates, the Democrats gave us no choice. The Democrats gave us no choice. That was the worst campaign, and their pure arrogance and their moral superiority have driven people away. If you say you're voting for Trump, suddenly you're a Nazi, you're a Hitler, you're garbage. Enough. And we had the video. Well, let's roll a little bit of that if we can, Dave Portnoy. No audio, so I just gave you audio.
Don't take it from me. There's too much. No, I just putting it up to you. Could just put it up while he was putting the story up.
Well, so he went on to continue. Like, yeah, I'm sure there are racists in the party, just like this, bleeping crazy and bleeping racists in the Democratic Party. All right, but
That's why we're
millions
not
and
taking
millions
it.
and millions and millions of people vote for Trump. He won clear. He won decisive. So when you call us that, and when you're saying that you're calling the majority of the country racist, Hitlers, Nazis, I don't think you get the words of what that means. So he was just absolutely pissed off. He's one of those people in the middle, male, right? Said, you know what?
Yep.
Enough. I'm going out. I'm voting. I mean, we've been going to be talking about this all night and probably for weeks to come. But Dave Portnoy from the sports world is weighing in on that. Big D. That's a wrap in sports. I'll have more in my next sports segment. Thank you.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the code to use over there. Let's do some news, and then we'll get back to cabinet positions in the Post story today and some others. Let's do the news with the still non-shaven Rick Delgado. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
What was the question? I'm good. Come on, that's a good time. Good. We got some news going on. One of the highlights, I think, from last night, the coverage of the other networks, I think has to be this one, where CNN's Jake Tapper was asking to see if Kamala was overperforming, because you're trying to make sense of all the numbers.
Put this clip in the Louvre is what they should do. That's where this clip belongs.
This is cut number 2. This is Jake Tapper wondering, if there's any map or something that they have that shows the counties that maybe Kamala's doing better in than Joe Biden, right. And to kind of offset where we see what the numbers, so you can kind of make sense of it. Well, sure. This is what happened. Cut number 2. Enjoy it for yourself.
So you asked, are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming in 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything in the east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally not one county?
There you go.
I played this clip this morning.
I was going to say, I saw it this morning.
After I watched it about 400 times, laughed every time. John King absolutely knows that chart is blank. You want this chart? Oh, let me bring that up here. Okay, overperforming. Let me show you this. Take a good look at this one, Jake. Here you go. He knows that's blank. I guarantee you he knew. Listen to the way he sets that. Play that one more time, Aaron. Listen to the way John King sets it up. And then he says, let's wait for this thing to slide over so maybe you can see if there's anything on this side.
Right.
Roll that one more time.
So you asked, are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming in 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything in the east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally not one county?
Yeah.
Wow.
Literally not
Literally not a one, Jake.
Smoke show, baby.
Fake Tapper, not a one.
Not one county. Just
not a one. Not a one.
And, of course, on the heels of this morning, you wake up to the headlines that the Justice Department is already making moves, Damon, to wind down 2 federal criminal cases against President-elect Donald Trump.
To get their people out of the country.
What a surprise. Following the longstanding department
Hail
policy,
Mary.
they're saying that sitting presidents cannot be prosecuted. According to multiple media reports, Special Prosecutor Jack Smith will be gone before Trump is inaugurated. I think he just took a flight out this morning.
Back to The Hague.
Yeah, exactly. The day after the sweeping election victory for the Republicans in the run-up to the election, to Election Day, Smith had been vigorously pursuing this January-related interference document cases, but ran into legal setbacks and delays that further prevented progress. DOJ officials will now have no room to maneuver, and of course, Jack Smith is last seen making reservations over in Belgium. There you have it.
All right, live from Studio 6B, we'll do some more news and sports. Plus, we'll take a look at more cabinet positions in a possible 47 Donald J. Trump administration. Coming to you live January 20th, 2025.
Don't tell me this is going to be a repeat of that. We were flying high, and then what? Thank God that did not go that route. It did feel a little different, but I started to say, uh-oh.
Glock guy says, I can't get Damon to answer me when the new calendars will be out. We have people wanting them as GIF.
Well, you have to take the one from last year and make it a GIF, GIF. Make a picture. And we didn't do one this year. We never got to it.
Well, you were supposed to get me a...
I have 3 photographers on call. Are you kidding? But I mean, it's just, yeah, I know. But we got so busy with everything. Wrapped up in the election.
Yes, there is no Slick Rick calendar.
Oh, man. Next year. I have all the suits, actually. I got at least another dozen that I could have worn.
Do you want to shoot it tomorrow?
Let's go. Tomorrow? How about Friday? You could have shot it.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Sure. If you're in the chat on social media, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. We appreciate when you do. It helps us grow the channels. Real Bruce Lee on X. Carrie Lake would be a good press secretary. Have we given up on Carrie? I thought Carrie Lake still had some numbers to maybe pull this thing out.
Yeah, they're still saying it's a
race.
When we left,
4%.
I mean, I suppose this may not be too high on the president's list of all the things he has to do, but he's got to get somebody to go out to Arizona and figure out what in the blue hell is going on out there. We left the America's First Warehouse last night on the presidential race. Arizona was at, I think, 63% of the vote in.
I think it's 65 right
Tonight
now.
it's at 69% of the vote in.
Jeez.
What the hell's going on? Was there 300 million people who live there? What is going on in Arizona?
I don't know what happened to that state.
It's called corruption.
Farmer Brook.
The hell happened? Yeah,
Can't even deal with it. He was on. This is so embarrassing.
It's called,
on the stream this morning.
It's called corruption. You got Maricopa County.
Oh, yeah.
They can't seem to count. You got an entire state of Florida that can count their ballots. And Maricopa County can't. It's not that they can't. It's that they won't.
I never saw anybody count ballots as fast as Maryland. Did you see that one go down last night? Hello, Maryland goes to Kamala. That was the fastest I ever saw a state flip to somebody.
Gallego right now. Okay. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. We were just talking in the break how we went to bed last night at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, whatever it was. Arizona was around 65%, 63% of the vote in. 24 hours later at 8:47 tonight, they're at 69% of the vote in.
Come on.
Like, can we get a live camera of how they count votes there? Like, what are they? What is going on? I mean, why is it amateur hour in Arizona every time this happens? Every election, no matter what it is, Arizona can't get it together. They need weeks and weeks and weeks to count a third of the votes that Florida counts in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Farmer Brook was on the morning show with me this morning. He says it's just so embarrassing.
Yeah, but it's not like this is by design. This is not a mistake. They're not having problems. This is all by design. You can't be
designed to do what on the presidential side?
But you can't be this incompetent and keep your job.
Oh, you can. Look at Fauci.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
There's many examples to point to that you could be incompetent and fail up in this government. Which again, one of the overall hope and themes of 47 is going to be that overly bloated, iron-fisted, top-down government becomes way less of that.
Yeah.
Get Elon in there. I saw somebody ranking on Elon, it was all over socials, and I was thinking, yeah, the guy's real stupid.
Yeah.
Spent $44 billion to buy Twitter and ended up getting all 3 branches of the federal government. Yeah, no, I think he thinks that investment was well worth it this morning.
It's going to pay dividends, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to pay big dividends.
Yeah.
Let's get Elon unleashed there with Ron Paul and maybe Rand Paul and.
So Ben Berquam sent this morning. This is the Arizona Processing Center.
Okay, let's see here.
They don't seem too quick on their feet.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Let's look at the personnel. Yeah.
Oh, she's dancing.
Yeah, we should have results by about January.
What time's lunch?
Oh, my goodness.
Uh-huh.
What do they have? Like,
look at this.
12 people working there?
Yeah. They're counting 3 million ballots right there.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my God. Yeah, Ben is onto it. He was on last night.
Who knows? I mean, who could explain this? 24 hours ago, they're at 63. 24 hours later, at 69.
But meanwhile, in the
you think they were hand counting the whole country?
Think about it. In the 6 hours from when the polls closed to when you walked away at 63%, they got 63% done. And then all of a sudden it comes to a screeching halt. Again, it's by design. You can't convince me. I have a theory.
Well, I'm not saying you're not wrong that it's by design or it's by whatever, but at this point, the presidential race, I mean, even if it was by design, once the thing is called and he's over 270, you would think they go, okay, we got everything.
That could be Biden.
Let's report it all.
You know what?
Pretty useless at this point.
And I was thinking about that too, but part of me, and if you were watching some of the mainstream media today, they still have Trump under 300. I think their goal is now, it's all visual. They want to go for, we want to keep him under 300.
Optics,
how do we keep it? It's all optics.
Yep.
Correct.
That's stupid because he already has a mandate. He's won the Electoral College, huge landslide. Well, we may never see what we saw yesterday ever again in the history of the country.
You may not.
As it's going to get harder and harder for both sides to get the kind of mandate that he has as of today. Electoral College wipeout. Popular vote, first Republican in 20 years, wipe out 4 or 5 million votes. Maybe it could go up, maybe it could go down, but doesn't really matter.
Wipe out.
Absolute mandate from the country, repudiation of everything the left has tried to do, repudiation of leftism, progressivism, big bloated government, higher taxes, men and women's sports, all of it. Complete repudiation. People said no. No, we're not. We're not going to go down this road. We are not going down this road.
Enough.
Socialism not welcome here. No, we believe in freedom. We believe in liberty. We believe in individual liberty. We don't believe in government. We don't believe in groupthink. No. He has an absolute mandate from this country. The numbers last night are staggering. Staggering. It's not just a win. This is a Morning in America win for the ages. This is a Reagan 80 win. This is a Reagan both times win. This is a clobbering. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Reagan said it as well. There's a lot of similarities. Thank God there are, by the way.
The only problem is they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about a mandate. They're still going to try and do everything they can to sabotage and destroy this country. That's their mandate. They feel like they were robbed. They're blaming everybody in America. Oh, it was you, the voters, who let us down. I can't believe how misogynistic you are, how racist you are, how you can't vote for a black woman. Well, you know what? That I'm sorry, but you can't keep blaming everybody because you're bad at what you do. I'm sorry. You put up a bad candidate, a fake candidate, but a bad one. The worst one probably in the last 30, 40 years. And then you expect something that wasn't going to happen? It's like fetch. It's not going to happen. Don't worry about it. Let it go. Take the L. Walk away. They can't do it. And this is another thing. It's all about perception too. Oh, if we can keep him under 300, that'll make it look better for us, because it's all about that. I'm telling you, they have mental problems. People on the left, they have mental problems. If you saw some of the meltdown videos are insane. There's a woman who's trying to buzz her own head without cutting it first.
You should hook up with her for your beard.
Sounds like your type, Delgado. Just to that point, Elon Musk disagrees with you. If you want to put this up, Aaron. And it's responding to this tweet where the guy says, in 2016, there's no peaceful transition to power. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, the Democrat Party weaponized the FBI, DOJ, the legacy media to frame Donald Trump as a Russian agent. They lied to the FISA court multiple times to secure wiretaps and surveillance. Elon says, given the unequivocal mandate given to real Donald Trump from the people of America, winning not just the Electoral College by a landslide, but also the popular vote, the Senate, and the House, there will be none of that nonsense this time. They won't even try. You don't agree with that?
I don't agree with it. Because let's face it, they have an army of lawyers. They're still in charge. Jamie Raskin has already tipped their strategy, along with other Democrats on the left who said they're not going to certify. They are going to try to do everything they can. I'm sorry, it's not going to be peaceful. I mean, I'd love to say, hey, it's going to be great. Candy corn and flowers and all that stuff for everybody as we move forward. It's not going to happen. They won't let it happen. They don't want it to. They're losing power, Damon. They don't know how to deal with it, and we have to be prepared. We just.
Well, I think you're right there. I don't expect them to sit back and go, "Here's the keys, guys.
Right.
Good luck. Have a great time." I don't suspect that. I don't think we'll see at least into this transition. To Elon's point, there's going to be too many. There's going to be too many Kash Patels, Brett Tolmans, Mike Davises, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy. There's too many now. He had none of this in 15, 16. None of it. They walked in there like the new kids on the block, as green as could be, and went, "Oh, okay, where do we go? What do we do?" They were caught flat-footed on all this stuff. This is why you're seeing the meltdowns you're seeing from the left, from the people who know, from the General Mark Milley's today. Did you see his comment?
No.
Did you see James Comey today? This is why you're seeing these people say this today.
Did he come out of the woods and make a statement?
Who, Milley?
Yeah,
no.
Because they know he's not coming in blind. He's not coming in with the wool pulled over his eyes. You're not pulling a fast one on him this time. Or any of the people, of the dozens of people around him now who are on you, who know where the bodies are buried, who know where the snake oil salesmen are and how they operate.
I know, but I still think they're going to try, and it's going to get...
All right, quick hour one, hour two coming up. Live from Studio 6B right after this. We're live in the chat here as we wrap up hour one. Facebook, YouTube, Getter, wherever you're watching, make sure you hit the like, subscribe. We appreciate it.
Yes, candy corn flowers there, Slick.
Yeah, it sounds like a bathroom joke.
I don't know.
John Q. Public in the YouTube chat. Dr. Ben Carson as Surgeon General. That's not a bad suggestion. Would Dr. Ben take that position, you think?
As what?
Come back as Surgeon General.
I don't know.
You know? Why not?
I would think he would be involved.
He'd be great. Oh, he'd certainly be involved in the selection process. Yes, but I would think he'd be a great choice. Bring him back. He could do another 4 more years. I like Vivek for Speaker. I think he'd be.
For what?
For Speaker of the House. I'm sorry, for Press Secretary.
Nah, he'd never do.
No, not beneath him. He's so sharp, though, man. Oof.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. What do we got? Is that hour number one already? Dang!
Christopher Martin, Bongino, head of the FBI. Somebody else mentioned maybe Secret Service.
I don't think Dan Bongino.
Nah, he's doing good where he is. He loves what he does, and he does a damn good job. I can't wait to watch the great Levin, Big D. He should be great after this election. Finally,
I was listening to him a little bit tonight on radio driving in.
I watched him Sunday night. He was on fire, man. I'm sure he got people out to vote.
He said her new pronouns are has been.
I like that one right there.
And his new pronouns are he won.
Yeah, that one too.
Damon, who replaces J.D. Vance? Yeah, good question. That's going to be up to, is that the governor's choice there in Ohio? They have to have a race for it.
That's a good one.
Vivek was talking about maybe he's an Ohio guy too, right? Wasn't he talking about maybe running?
Is he an Ohio guy? I think he was born in Houston, right?
Did I hear
Texas
that?
area?
Maybe I didn't hear that right. I thought so.
Texas. Interesting.
Yes, it's up to the governor, Patrick said on Facebook. Yeah. Who knows? DeWine's a head case. Live from Studio 6B, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, Real America's Voice, November 6th. Election, well, one day past the election. Election results. Of course, we got them last night. A lot of people thought we'd be sitting here talking about what's Pennsylvania this next day. Not to pat ourselves on the back, but I bet I was going to try to take some time today and go back through the last couple weeks of shows. Morning shows, evening shows. Even as far back as April, when we talked about crypto, Bitcoin, President Trump should get on it. The single issue voting block that's going to have a big part in this election. Well, Bitcoin last night showed that was exactly right. Talking about having results on election night, exactly right. Talking about the fact that she couldn't hold the blue wall, we thought, at least I thought, I don't remember where you guys stood, but she could lose all three, exactly right.
Yep.
There was a lot. There was a lot of stuff that common sense and math told you, forget the gaslighting, forget Ann Selzer, forget her Kamala Harris +3 poll, which, looking at now, I know Mark Halpern and she's the gold standard and she's great and you can't question her. And don't you dare say anything that was anything corruptible about it. I mean, it might be the worst poll in the history of polls then, if it was legit. And it wasn't paid off or any funny business going on. It's one of the worst polls ever. Won it by 14. Alan Lichtman, whatever the hell his name is, too, and his keys. We talked about those on the show. Mm-hmm. He said, well, I wasn't even familiar with these stupid keys. Well, guess what? You got locked out of the house, bud. You don't got the key. Didn't even make any sense when you read the questions and how applying them to this situation with her coming in with 114 days left. Made no sense. How could you say I could rely on these? Oh, yeah, these are never missed. Really? Okay. Never missed.
That's like the
what does that mean in this business? Nothing.
That's a sportscaster's curse. Oh, he hasn't missed a
hasn't missed a kick. He hasn't missed a kick in 85 attempts.
He hasn't missed a kick on 130 yards. What do you think's going to happen?
That's it. The kibosh. Yeah, I've been known to do that.
I mean, what's his name? John Stewart is not the way he meant it, but he's right. These guys, most of these guys in the polling business. You know, Rasmussen was great. Barris was great. Atlas was great. But some of these others, they hold themselves up like they've got some magic potion that we all have to pay attention to. They don't know nothing. They haven't in 3 cycles with Trump. None of them have been able to figure out how to even get to the damn people. Oh, well, we had we flipped it and flopped it, and now we've got really results here that you can pay attention to. It's every day. I want that job.
It's like being the weatherman.
If that. Emmett Terrell today in the American Spectator. Freedom will be the theme of Trump's Reaganite next term. He says, I woke up this morning and I cannot help but think that it is once again morning in America. I sit here and look at the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and I have no doubt that Donald Trump is capable of upholding the high standards that our republic demands. Trump had 4 years to reflect on how his first term went, and now he has been shown the path to a tarnish-free future. Over the last months, it is obvious that Trump made a decision to model his future presidency on Ronald Reagan, from the Lee Greenwood anthem to the theme of "Are you better off than you were 4 years ago?" This is not news to any of us. We've known it all along. As I most recently wrote in these pages a few weeks ago, I predicted a massive Trump surge, sweeping him back into power. I had spotted this talent, predicting his victory long before he clinched it in his surprising 2016 win, back when he was a greenhorn Republican who had never run for anything before. In 2013, when I met Donald Trump for the first time, he showed me that he would be a successful politician. Having known 7 presidents, I was sure that he would win. He was not like any politician I had ever known. Smart, aggressive, a showman, plus a strategist, my kind of guy. Polls have shown that Trump's qualities as a strong leader won him many votes, especially among men, particularly African-American men and Hispanics. In terms of tactics, what made the difference? 2 things. First, his genius in donning a McDonald's apron to flip burgers, encored by his brilliant parade in a gleaming white garbage truck emblazoned with the name Trump on its side. He wore a safety vest, symbols of serving the people. Second, he got to the core of the economy issues by mirroring Reagan's insightful query about whether you are better off than you were 4 years before. Trump is now aspiring to take us backwards towards the shining city upon a hill, as Ronald Reagan often said, most notably in his farewell address to the nation in 1989. In Early Freedom Seeker and Pilgrim, John Winthrop wrote that phrase to describe the America he imagined. Like most of us, Winthrop was looking for a home that would give him liberty, freedom. In Ronald Reagan's mind, the shining city was a tall, proud city built on rocks stronger than oceans, windswept, God-blessed, and teeming with people of all kinds living in harmony and peace. A city with free ports that hummed with commerce and creativity. Donald Trump is for freedom, that most dear of American values. So was Ronald Reagan. Trump has more gifts to deploy to propel America to greater glory through his boundless energy, his resonant voice, both being gifts from God, who surely had a hand in this landslide we witnessed last night. Here is to Mr. Trump. It is morning again in America. And I think that's the feeling that a lot of people felt this morning and feel right now.
Yep. I'd say I felt it last night when I got home.
I felt it driving home.
I got home at 1:45, right? I had to leave a little bit early. I had to get up, early for work. I came home I figured that the house would be dark and I'd have to be very quiet. I came home to a raging storm of celebration from a 20-year-old college junior.
Wow.
Who was so happy she had her and some of her friends all on video call as they're watching as they just called the entire race at about 1:45 or so. And she was screaming. She was happy. She had her Women for Trump shirt on. This is a college student in the Northeast. Kind of opened my eyes when I heard, her friends on the other end too. And they were excited. They were like, hey, maybe now we can afford a house. She said, maybe we can afford a house in the future.
Wow.
I was like, I didn't even think they were paying attention to that kind of stuff.
It's awesome.
But it's amazing that, these kids are, especially because now they're in college. They get to see these things. And she said she couldn't wait to go in and wear her shirt in front of her liberal professor this morning.
Good for her.
So I applaud her. And it was just, I was stunned when I walked in the house because I thought I was fried. I thought everybody else would be fried too. But man, it was like a party.
I cracked open a bottle of Vive Clicquot. Knocked off half a bottle with the wife. It was nice bottle of champagne. I had chilling as soon as I got home.
I had
delicious.
a similar. It's funny you say that, Delgado. I wasn't going to expecting to talk about this, but since you brought it up, I just had a similar experience literally today with my daughter and 3 of her friends.
Really?
All the same age. Had to go to dance. I was driving. Picked them all up. 4 of them in the car. And all of them just ecstatic over the win.
Yeah. This whole
narrative. And they knew stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously my daughter, we talk. She knows. We talk about why I feel the way I feel. I don't push anything. I just explain. She listens. Comes up with her own. I mean, she's she's pretty strong-willed as it is. She doesn't need a lot of
no
help.
Surprise.
My son was there last night.
Yeah.
And
the
my
tallest
wife
guy in the place.
My wife and son were there last night having a good time. But my daughter was talking about the fact that more and more friends of hers wearing in school Trump shirts, MAGA shirts.
Yeah.
MAGA warrior shirts, things like that. And I said, the school ever give anybody you know a problem? And she said, no. They wear it all day long.
Freedom of speech, baby.
And to hear the 4 of them banter about their last night, the experience in each one of their houses, what they were hearing. One of the girls said, I was hearing my parents scream, and I was thinking, oh, is this good or bad? I didn't know. And it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's cool to see, because a lot of times you don't think they're paying attention. And, you find out, when they're 3 that they repeat the F word. You're like, oh, I guess they are paying attention. They are like sponges. But even on stuff like this, you think they kind of tune you out because they're like, this is boring adult stuff. I don't want to deal with it. But they are paying attention.
I mean, I had one girl in the car. She's like, he won all the swing states, And
Whoa!
I was like, what?
Well, he broke the wall. He broke the blue wall.
I was like, you should have been on the dais last night.
That's right. We could have used all that.
She had more information than I did. And then they've got all the social media, because they're all spend their time on Instagram and TikTok and all this other stuff. And they're like, hey, did you hear this one? And they pull up these songs about Trump that are just hysterical. Have you heard the Trump Macarena song?
No, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, no, I hadn't heard it either. It's hysterical.
No, I got a what do you call it? A notification from my stepdaughter. I think it was an Instagram or something else. Where her comment was, I love the taste of liberal tears. I'm like, what? Wow. I guess maybe she has been paying attention to us a little bit because, we made our political leanings in the House known. Not like, overt and saying, you have to believe this, you have to believe that. It's just, we just point out things and kind of talk about it. Glad that's had that influence because, going into a college situation, into the campuses these days, these kids have to be prepared because they're going to be bombarded with all the nonsense, with all the woke nonsense crap that the schools are going to, or these professors are going to try and plow down their throats to get them to comply. And I'm glad that and then they have groups of them. It's not just one-off hiding. Like you said, the kids are allowed to wear their stuff and nobody gives them crap because they probably would get crap back from a lot of people, which is good.
Brandon, give me a little audio here. I don't need video, Aaron. Just give me a little audio here. Let's see if this is the right thing I found.
Camel is never gonna be me in November. Donna's gonna make the country better than you can remember. Camel is never gonna be me in November. Hey, Margarita.
Yeah, there you go.
Camel is never gonna be me in November.
They don't want me. They don't need me.
She's like, did you know that, Dad? I was like, no, but thanks for letting me know.
Take a hike, Kamala.
I gotta get. Kamala's never gonna beat me in November.
She don't want me, don't need me.
Donny Boy's gonna make it better than forever.
Greg Blacker in the YouTube chat said we should have Come Back, the song by Glenn Campbell, should be Trump's song. Okay, so we can't play that though.
No.
Get hammered.
No, we can do here, though.
What can we do?
Do it.
We're back to a regularly scheduled read.
We got reads. How
No,
many
but it's
guys?
a brand new one at least today.
All right.
7 new reads?
We could play the Phil Collins song. No more. He's outnumbered.
Trey Davis says 6 reads, Damon. No, I don't have 6.
Stock market went crazy today for a little bit, huh?
Well, of course.
Bingo! It's going to continue to climb.
They don't like they have certainty now. That's what they like.
Ken?
Yeah, we'll do sports here. Oh, no, really? Why? Gotcha.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Gotcha. Okay. All right, if you're in the chat, hit the like, subscribe, follow the channels. Damon Roberts for Secretary of Gnomes. I don't think there's such a position.
Yeah.
Yeah, no land security.
I'd be press secretary. I would be press secretary for like a day.
Not even.
I'd make Scaramucci's run look like it was long.
It would look like a residency.
Yeah.
You could be the Secretary of Gnome Land Security.
Oh, that's a good one.
Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was
Yeah,
pretty
I think
good.
so.
I liked it.
Well, of course you liked it.
Everybody out there like it?
You think
Damon, Secretary of Gnome Land Security?
Genius.
Hey, Ray, how's New York looking right now?
Yeah.
I'm
It's still in
counting.
play.
Oh, well, wait a minute. They're going to...
Hey.
Krispy Kreme. We almost had Jersey there with Krispy Kreme.
And look,
you were on that.
And look what
Jersey
happened.
looks like it's going to be a swing state next
I
in
think
4
so.
more years.
Yeah.
And look what happened. Jersey almost flipped.
You were on that.
We got
Doesn't
the,
Jersey have
we got the popular vote.
Doesn't Jersey have a gubernatorial race coming up in a year or
it
two?
does. Yep.
I think the RNCs better really start investing some money there because that could be
Yep.
in play.
You got to talk about the House. What's
He's
going on
closer to
there.
New Jersey than she is in Florida.
Yep.
Right? The House results, 205, 189 right now. How are we looking there?
It's 205, 189. Wow, sound like the blues on a Wednesday. We talked about our friends at Birch Gold. Well, for those of us holding our breath for the past several months, we can finally exhale. Work can finally be done on the major issues this country is facing. One of the most significant being, of course, $35 trillion in our national debt. The fact is, our nation is broke, and that debt is a house of cards that can't quickly be dismantled. So the strategy remains the same. You got to look into diversifying your savings. That's why you look at buying gold from Birch Gold. So many things are out there that are out of your control, out of the president's control. It's important to have a safe haven for your savings. Take a look at the Birch Gold Group. They can help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. And the best news is it won't cost you a penny out of pocket. All you got to do to get started is text the word America to 989898. That's the number to send it to. Just type out the word America. And then into the who, you just type 989898. That's your phone number. And get your free information kit from Birch Gold. Plus, right now, through Black Friday, you can receive a free 1-ounce Silver Eagle for every $5,000 that you purchase. Protect your savings with Birch Gold. Text America to 989898. Claim your eligibility for free silver. Do it today. Well, everybody knows the next medical crisis is just around the corner. Whether it comes in the form of a pandemic or something much more mundane like a tick bite, you and your family need to be prepared. That's where the Wellness Company comes in. You know the Wellness Company, Dr. Peter McCullough. He's been on the show. The Wellness Company and their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust, and their line of prescription medical kits are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. Whether it's the medical emergency kit, the contagion kit, first aid kit, travel kit, these prescription kits contain an assortment of life-saving medications and guidebooks to assist in the proper use of all the medications that come with whichever kit you pick, from anthrax to tick bites, COVID to bird flu, trip to the beach, or if you're going to trip overseas. The Wellness Company has a prescription kit designed to keep you and your family safe. Rest assured knowing that you've got antibiotics, antivirals, antiparasitics on hand at any time to help keep you and your family safe from whatever the situation is and whatever the globalists might throw at you next. Go to twc.health/voice. That's twc.health/voice. Order today. Use promo code VOICE. You can save additional 10%. twc.health/voice. 19 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the code to use. Shopping season is here. Man, I hate to say it because the year it's just going by so fast. Although I wouldn't mind getting to January 20th now. That's going to be right around
sooner
the corner.
the better. Let's
the
go.
Next thing to look forward to. Thanksgiving's going to be here, then Christmas, holiday season, Hanukkah. As we go through December, and then, man, come the start of the year, things get exciting.
Oh, yeah.
January 6th.
January 6th, Kamala Harris will oversee her duty as vice president over the Senate.
It's going to be a peaceful transfer, she promised.
In her speech today, which
it was exhilarating.
I'll give a
D minus.
A D minus, yeah, maybe a D.
Oh yeah,
because she had actually a couple lines in there that somebody wrote. Not that I don't think she believes it.
She did it at a college, so you got to give her
about the greatness of America. Which normally, I'll give some credit. You usually don't hear that at all in any speech from any one of them ever. Barack Obama for 8 years, you never heard once. He just went around the world apologizing for America. Biden, he can't really complete sentences, so I don't even hold it against him.
He was lost in America.
He was trying to find his way back to
shaking
America.
hands with the doorknob. Yeah.
Exactly. So
old pops.
But yeah, I think D minus is about right. Pretty bitter.
Yeah.
Pretty contentious in some parts.
And kind of ironic that she's going to be overseeing the
as Biden did.
Yeah, the confirming of the electoral votes, which now she can't send back because of the Electoral Count Reform Act that they helped put in place to make sure the vice president can never do that again.
And speaking of joy and unity, I'm sorry. Speaking of joy and unity, how many times did she use the word fight in her speech? She must have used this word fight 35 times.
Not as many times as she said good afternoon, I can tell you that. Did you watch it?
I did.
No.
She opened with good afternoon, probably, maybe not 35, but a good 11 or 12.
She probably could have gotten away with the Fetterman. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Good night.
Just
and
gonna
then,
sing it all
just walk
Fetterman.
Good afternoon. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Yep.
Oh, Nan Pelosi was out there in the audience.
Yeah, she got a facelift. She looked like she got a nice facelift.
Yeah, did they lift it up and see what was under and drop it back down?
It looked like she was arguing with Donna Brazile.
Oh.
But maybe not. I don't know. People were just reading into it.
Yep, Tim Walz
She was probably telling her, the Balvini's half gone. I need a new bottle. I mean, they could have been saying anything. Who knows?
That's true. Right? Tim Walz was crying.
I think, was crying.
Yeah, he was crying.
Which probably appropriate.
Was he wearing his leather pants?
No, I didn't see any of that. But
no.
Did he wave? Did he introduce Kamala like that?
He was with the second gentleman.
They really should have thought that through. He should have given a 4-clap salute there.
Yes.
And had her come out. But no, she just came out on her own. So. Wow. I think people showed up thinking Beyonce was going to do a performance again, and they're disappointed one more time. So, but that's the end of that. So,
listen to this. Alana Martin in the Rumble chat says Nancy has 0 wrinkles on her face, neck, chest.
Right, it's true.
She goes, "I was jelly."
Listen here, Donna.
She definitely had work.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Alana, don't be jealous.
All right, let's do sports. Did we do sports?
And we did not. We did sports earlier tonight, yes.
All right, let's do sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the code to use. What's going on, Slick?
Well, with the president coming back to office, Big D, I want to get back to the rodeo, a great American sport, maybe the greatest American sport, especially in the Midwest. So we're going to get to Cook's Rodeo Days. We're going to go down to Texas, Lubbock, Texas. Wrapped up over the weekend, but I didn't get a chance to do any sports the first few days of the week, obviously. So here we go. All-around cowboy Jacob Walters, 1389, Tad-on roping, steer wrestling, team roping, and steer roping. Bareback riding, we had Andy Gingrich, 81 points on the Survey Brothers Blue Ridge Babe, 1948. All these are our third round now. Steer wrestling, we had Bridger Anderson, 4.3 seconds. Team roping, Junior D's and J.C. Flake, 4.5 seconds. We also had Saddle Bronc, Sterling Crawley, 8.5 points on the Survey Brothers Polecat. Ooh, polecat. Tie down, third round. Riley Madison Webb, 7.3 seconds. Barrel racing. AC Pinkston aces it with 17.11 tenths. That's a good time right there. Steer roping. We had a tie. Chet Herron and Riley O'Rourke, 9.2 seconds. Bull riding, last but not least. Jake Dunham, 86 points on Rocky Mountain Rodeo's Psalm 91. What do you know? Open up the Bible there. 47.94 was the payout. Total payout on this rodeo, $223,994. Big one there. And, well, you guys know Tony Dungy, right? The old Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach and Indianapolis Colts for some time. He was in the news as well. This is a victory for babies. Super Bowl champ Tony Dungy hails the defeat of Florida pro-abort amendment. This is Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. Super Bowl champion and NFL Hall of Famer Tony Dungy is used to winning. However, on Thursday night, he celebrated a victory far more meaningful than anything decided by a game. As President-elect Trump and many Republican candidates won election victories throughout the country Thursday night, an important victory was also won to protect the lives of the unborn in the state of Florida, as Floridians struck down Amendment 4.4, a ballot measure that would have legalized abortion up until birth. In addition, Dungy lauded the defeat of Amendment 3, which would have legalized marijuana. Dungy, an outspoken advocate against the measure, celebrated the victory for babies on social media. The polls are closed in Florida, and Amendment 3 and Amendment 4 both failed to pass, he wrote on X. Thank you to all the Florida residents who helped to protect the lives of the unborn. And we want people to realize that those expectant mothers who need help will still be able to get it. Pregnant women and health risks can get treatment. The exceptions for rape and incest are still in place. But this is a victory for babies. Supporters of Florida's Amendment 4 publicly argued for the measure as a response to Florida's 6-week abortion ban. So Tony Dungy out there celebrating the good news. You think they're going to throw him off NBC now on NBC Sports Sunday Night Football?
If they could and replace him with someone who they thought was as good as he was, they would, but they can't.
They love him.
All right, live from Studio 6B. More to do. We're back right after this. Let's play for the social media audience, and if we have time, we'll play it on the network. But let's play for the social media audience the best video of the day. So VMI is the Virginia Military Academy, Virginia Military Institute, where some of our future young men and women heroes to go to college.
But it was a body mass index.
And Virginia, VMI. VMI. They had an announcement in the barracks to all of the trainees, or I guess recruits, and here it is at 1:48 a.m.
Attention inside and outside areas. The winner of the 2024 presidential election is Donald J. Trump.
Let's go! That's awesome. That is awesome. Gosh. Tells you what the military thinks, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I imagine that went on all over the country, all over the world, probably, for the U.S. I love it.
The 2024 presidential election is Donald J. Trump.
Let's go!
How great is that? That's the best video of the whole night. Boys at VMI.
Who wrote that?
Silverfoot in the YouTube chat said, Damon, Charlie Kirk's team says Lake has a path to victory in Arizona for senator tonight.
I can hear you, yeah.
So Charlie Kirk apparently sees some path.
Yeah.
No, everybody. A bunch of people see it. We just got to get her there. The vote's got. I mean.
Well.
Okay, can you give me some? Do you text it to me? Okay.
So we were back in the early 80s. Hello.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday, day after the election. Donald J. Trump elected 47th President of the United States. So last night, we were all at the America's First Warehouse. We were all pretty fired up about the results.
Yep.
Well, they were fired up in some other places around the country. One of them was down at the Virginia Military Institute, where our young men go to college and, of course, ROTCs and train. They were, I don't know about sleeping in the barracks last night, but they were in the barracks when there was an announcement made, and it sounded a little something like this.
Attention, inside and outside areas. The winner of the 2024 presidential election is Donald J. Trump.
Let's go!
Somehow, I think if the commander there or whatever said the winner was Kamala Harris, I don't know that you necessarily would have gotten the same response.
You would have had to edit a lot of that comments and screaming.
I think we would have just been adding the old cricket sound.
Yeah.
So we had something to listen to.
Oh, God.
But they were fired up about their new commander, their commander-in-chief coming back, and why wouldn't they be?
They'll have what they need finally.
Why wouldn't they
They'll
be?
have what they need, the boys and the girls.
Let's do some news. 31 past the hour, and here with that is Rick Delgado. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, just poking around, looking at some headlines. This one, I don't know if you saw this, but Donald Trump announces huge news. He's going to throw America's 250th big birthday party, according to the quick video that is online at X. He wants to make it the best of all time. So we're looking forward to a very special July 4th this year, 250, right?
Yeah.
Not
2 years.
2 years.
Here is
year and a half.
Here is the former and now future president of the United States on this.
3 years from now, the United States will celebrate the biggest and most important milestone in our country's history. 250 years of American independence. What a great country. And we have to keep it that way. But that's why, as a nation, we should be preparing for a most spectacular birthday party. We want to make it the best of all time. Here is my plan to give America's founding in 1776 the incredible anniversary it truly deserves. On day one, I will convene a White House task force called Salute to America 250. It will be responsible for coordinating with state and local governments to ensure not just one day of celebration, but an entire year of festivities across the nation, starting on Memorial Day 2025 and continuing through July 4th, 2026. Wow. Second, I will work with all 50 governors, Republican and Democrat alike, to create the Great American State Fair, a unique one-year exhibition featuring pavilions from all 50 states. It'll be something. The Great American State Fair will showcase the glory of every state in the Union, promote pride in our history, and put forth innovative visions for America's future. My hope is that the amazing people of Iowa will work with my administration to open up the legendary Iowa State Fairgrounds to host the Great American State Fair and welcome millions and millions of visitors from around the world
And Seltzer can take
to the
tickets.
heartland of America for the special one-time
The great
festival.
state.
Together we will build it and they will come. Third, alongside the Great American State Fair, we will host major sporting contests for high school athletes. These are great athletes, wonderful athletes from fantastic high schools all around the country. These Patriot Games will allow young Americans from every state to show off the best of American skills, sportsmanship, and competitive spirit. Fourth, I will sign an executive order to bring back our National Garden of American Heroes, which we want to build very badly. Commission artists for the first 100 statues to populate this new statuary park honoring the greatest Americans of all time. Fifth, as president, I will invite the leaders and citizens of nations around the world to visit the United States in honor of our 250th anniversary. It's going to be great. America's tourist industry should get ready because we're going to have a lot of people coming. It will be a record year. And finally, and most importantly, I will ask America's great religious communities to pray for our nation and our people as we prepare for this momentous occasion. From the very beginning, America has been a country sustained and strengthened by prayer and by our communities of faith. As we chart a course toward the next 250 years, let us come together and rededicate ourselves as one nation under God. Thank you. 3 years.
Yeah, come on.
There's 3 minutes and 11 seconds, and you feel more American pride than you have in 4 years.
Yeah.
In 3 minutes and 11 seconds, because this guy has the ability to do that. He has just the ability when you hear him speak. Now, some of the greatest speeches, his 4th of July speech in South Dakota, I'll never forget it.
I know, it's great.
He has that Reagan ability to just make you feel the pride in the country. For whatever the reason, some do it better than others. Some don't try to do it at all. He just oozes it.
And from the sports world, in the 2028, you have the Olympics in Los Angeles, and you have the World Cup coming to the United States as well. So President Trump is going to preside over some great sporting events, historic sporting events during his run.
And he will preside over some other events that are as important. You know what those two are? Probably the retiring of 2 Supreme Court justices, I would think, in Alito and Thomas.
Much more important.
And again, you know, the whole night went by last night, and I feel like we haven't we certainly have addressed it when we've talked about what was on the line last night. But if you want to point to one thing that you can exhale, as the guy in that article said, or whatever, you can finally exhale. It's on the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Donald Trump will. I'm sorry, Rick.
Go ahead.
Donald Trump will reshape the Supreme Court if Alito and Thomas decide to retire in the next 2 to 4 years. Donald Trump will have appointed 5 of the 9 conservative justices on the court. And we will have a court. I mean, we always kind of joke that we're 2 justices away from having a conservative Supreme Court. But he appoints 2 more, let's say 40-something-year-old justices on the court. That court is shaped now for the next 40, 50 years.
Could be. Yeah, and now all of a sudden we don't hear the talk of, we're going to expand we're going to pack the Supreme Court. That talk has stopped, which is nice to finally see.
Well, I've kind of jokingly said that President Trump might want to do that in his first day on January 20th. Maybe say, you know, I've listened to the left's ideas of expanding the court, and I think today I'm going to put up 4 more nominees, and I actually have the names now. Here they are.
Oh, we're
going to pack.
One would be last name Cruz. One would be last name DeSantis. One would be last name, and they could just put them up right there.
That would cause a meltdown.
Oh, it's their idea.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm reaching across the aisle here.
Yes.
I see trying to show unity here.
Very nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Big D's a unifier. Come on.
Exactly.
Who knew?
Unifier.
Exactly.
So
we're going to work together.
But anyways, I actually don't think that's a good idea, by the way.
No, me either.
All right, what else is going on in the news?
Well, you're talking about unifying. Let's jump over to the great state of New York. That's still counting ballots, by the way, Damon. New York Attorney General Letitia James The Trump-hating New York Attorney General vows war with the president-elect in divisive news conference. I didn't get a chance to see this. You said you saw it. Turns out...
I've never seen a public official stand in front of the camera with more contempt.
Vitriol.
Or vitriol.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know the word. I mean, in her eyes.
Disgust. Than
she had today. Vowing to basically... Almost like she was, I don't even, I mean, you have to see it. It's not even worth trying to, I'm going to do a lousy job of trying to describe it.
It was like, bring it. Come on, we're ready for you.
We prepared for this.
We're prepared for you.
Me and Hochul, I mean, Hochul's there with her.
Oh.
I mean, it was beyond disgusting.
Well, maybe she realizes there could be charges headed her way. So if all of a sudden now, we do have a system of justice, a DOJ and a attorney general that decides to go look at what they were doing in New York, she might find herself under indictment herself. So hopefully that's the case. Maybe that's why she's cornered like a rat, and rats tend to kind of swing and scratch and bite and want to do everything to try to stay alive.
What's her name?
Letitia James.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there you have that. She's vowing to, as you said, fight. Speaking of reactions from across the aisle, Damon, that you want to reach out to, Morning Joe was out there, cut number 3. Here they are talking about, basically everyone that caused them the loss. You're all to blame. Here's Morning Joe blaming men of all colors and stripes.
I just say really quickly too, Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest, and they need to say yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Yeah.
Right. It's misogyny from black men.
Yeah.
Things we've all been talking about.
Right, Reverend?
Who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States.
That makes sense.
The Democratic Party, I've always found when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say,
that sounds like you.
White people don't like
this
women
guy he's got to be tired.
Black people. No.
I mean, that's
It's
and if you notice, Mika barely said a word this morning. I noticed that a lot of people she's not really talking a lot. I don't know. Maybe they medicated her. I don't know.
Just listen to a little bit of the AG. Just throw this up, Aaron, for a second.
This is
just
really
a little bit of
nasty.
this.
Other Democratic AGs across this country to make sure that we would be ready to respond to any attempt to roll back our rights. So here we are. We've studied their platforms.
What?
We've identified certain possibilities, fact patterns. We've created contingency plans.
It's a war?
Contingency.
So no matter what the next administration throws at us, we're ready.
We're ready.
Bring it.
We're ready to respond to their attacks.
What?
We're ready to respond to any attempts to cut or eliminate any funding to the great state of New York, as the governor outlined. So despite what has happened on the national stage, we will continue to stand tall in the face of injustice, revenge, or retribution.
Ooh, big word.
We will continue to protect and our most vulnerable and marginalized amongst us. Because it is my sworn duty and responsibility to lead that fight. Working with the governor of this great state, Kathy Hochul. This is not the time to be fearful, New York, but faithful.
Maybe she hasn't looked at the return
steadfast.
numbers last night from New York.
Knowing that I, as the Attorney General, along with my entire team, we are guardians of the law. And we are prepared, my friends, to fight back. Thank you.
Oh,
like what the hell? Where'd that come from? What the hell is she talking about? Did you look at the returns out of your own state? Did you look at the votes out of New York City? Did you look at the percentages?
She sounds like she's trying.
Who are you talking to?
She's trying to pre-bunk something. They might have something on her, and she knows it. Yep. Just saying. Just a theory. Throwing it out there.
disturbing. I watched that.
I think she knows she's on borrowed time.
They should focus on Mayor Adams is what they should be focusing on. They're worried about finding anything. He'll get it passed, though, because he voted for Kamala.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about
That's
that.
That's what he said. Well, yeah, what he did behind the scenes, I don't know, but he did come out and say that he voted for her.
Trump spoke to him like they were brothers at the Al Smith thing.
Yeah. Like, oh, you know what it's like now, don't you?
Yeah. Yep. Oh, last segment coming up. We're going out to the rally now?
What?
Odds makers.
Well, we don't need. We don't have to.
Big D could be a fill-in. Del Guy will be a fill-in. How about Harry? Have Harry call up. He'll probably win.
Do we have every person who ever requested is filled? Okay.
All right, I'll do it on behalf of the viewers.
Okay. Delgado's going to do it.
Nice.
How many games do I have to pick? 4?
4. It could be a pro, college, whatever you like.
What was the question?
Thank you, Aaron.
Well,
I'm so glad somebody else did. I don't feel like I'm.
I was wondering because.
How many years on the show now?
5.
Because.
This is year 5.
Since, whatever. I was going to say, I could pick for Monday night
5.
too. But we don't, and you don't include Thursday. All right. So just 4. Saturday and Sunday. College and NFL.
Yeah.
See, I knew that part, Damon.
Whatever you want to pick.
Don't come in with any CFL picks either, please.
I'm not coming in with
Don't come in with the Celtics,
Canadian
the
football
Yankees.
leagues. Yeah.
College football, NFL.
Yes,
he'll probably have like that, East Roanoke versus, West Virginia cadet.
The Mocs of Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I don't know.
Biloxi Buffaloes.
we need an I have a theory about that T-shirt. Someone said. Mike said on X.
Yeah, made out of tinfoil. Yeah, the whole shirt made out of like a silver tinfoil.
Yeah, and then you can wrap your lunch in it and put it away when you're done.
Exactly.
For Studio 6B on a Wednesday. And I had so much to get to, I didn't get real to any of it. You want to just hear some of the other, back to where we started, New York Post is bantering around some of the people Trump might be looking at.
Yeah, sure.
I'm really hoping they're just guessing, because most of these, I don't know necessarily that I'd feel great about personnel, again, if this is ended up being some of the, I mean, how do people feel about Kevin McCarthy as the chief of staff?
Yeah, no.
Attorney General, those 3. I mean, Whitaker, I think's fine. Jeff Landry, I think he's fought against the Biden administration pretty well. Eric Schmidt as well, when he was the Attorney General in Missouri. Secretary of Energy, Interior, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy. National security roles, Tom Cotton of Arkansas.
He's pretty solid, right?
Rich Grinnell.
Definitely.
Robert O'Brien, former national security advisor. Representative Mike Waltz from Florida. Secretary of State, Senator Marco Rubio. Maybe Senator Bill Hagerty from Tennessee. Homeland Security, Chad Wolf.
You're not buying.
Other possible roles, one for Elise Stefanik.
I like her.
Vivek Ramaswamy. Lee Zeldin.
Yes, Lee, come on.
Obviously, Elon Musk as an advisor, and Kennedy, obviously, somewhere over in health. So that's what they're throwing around right now.
But that's coming from where? From media?
Well, it's coming from the Post. I don't know necessarily that the Post has any insight, or if they're just, they've got someone kind of floating names or whatever, but that's what they put out today. None of those make me jump up and down.
No. Well, Lee Zeldin's pretty solid.
Yeah,
Rick Grinnell's pretty solid.
Yeah, Grinnell and
a lot of solid people.
What about Jelly Roll? Any thoughts on Jelly Roll?
Now you're talking.
I'll tell you what I didn't like.
He can take care of food.
I saw he's
lost a lot of weight.
He's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I saw Senator Mike Lee put out something about the new Senate leadership.
That's important.
And I don't have it in front of me, but the three names he put out were John Thune.
Ugh.
No, I forgot. But I said this morning, as I was listening to Marblemouth have a press conference, he's barely more coherent than Biden, barely. Is just I'll be so thankful to see the end of his reign. And as far as I'm concerned, nobody who stood behind him should be up for the job. No one who enabled Mitch McConnell, like John Thune, Barrasso, all of them, Joni Ernst, all stood behind him as he, for 10 years, did everything he could to fight against conservatives, ushering through everything Obama wanted, spending money against real, true conservative candidates all over the country all the time, putting up roadblocks, sticking his fat mush where it didn't belong in all these races all the time, caving all the time. Nobody who stood with him for all this time should be even in the discussion to take over the lead in the Senate. We need something new. We need something new, far away from any tentacles that go back to Mitch McConnell. So we'll have to banter some names around there as well. So, all right, let's do a little more sports news before we wrap it up. Slick, what else you got?
All right, big deal. Let me get a quick check at the scoreboard. One more round of scores for the NCAA men's basketball right now. Auburn 92-39, blowing Vermont right out. A minute to go there in the game. Indiana 74-57 of SIUE, 3:34 to go there. A couple of other games in the NHL right now. Capitals lead the Predators 3-2, 2:54 to go in the third. End of two. Red Wings over the Blackhawks 2-1. Just underway. Golden Knights. Second period already. Golden Knights 1-0 over the Oilers. NBA, the Knicks trail the Hawks in Atlanta 118-111, 22.4 to go there in the fourth quarter. Looks like that might be over. Warriors 104-101 over the Celtics. 2 minutes to go there in the fourth as well. One more story I want to get to in Breitbart Sports real quick is the, hold on a second, let me get
All right, well, while you're pulling that up, I was wrong. Mike Lee wasn't the one putting the names up. He actually retweeted Polymarket and said, what do we think of these? And then the question was, who will be the next GOP Senate leader? And the choices were John Cornyn,
nope.
John Thune,
nope.
Rick Scott, John Barrasso, or Joni Ernst. So basically, all the clowns that stood around McConnell and enabled him to do his destruction for the last 10 years.
Well, the only name missing up there is Lindsey Graham.
Oh, Lindsey.
Other than the couple thing, oh, look what he did with the courts. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, anyone would have done that in those situations. So I'm not jumping up and down for what he did in the courts after Harry Reid basically paved the road for him for the nuclear option anyways. So I'd say none of those. Zippo, zero. Let's get a new 5 names. All right, Slick, what else? You got
just
story?
putting on his thought, Nick Bosa not concerned about getting fined for MAGA hat display. It was well worth it. Of course, he's not worried about it. I think the NFL is going to think better of that with the president coming into office. But I want to give my time back on that. Bubby Sims in the Get It chat says the house is being stolen right now. We didn't really touch much on that. Right now, it's 206-190 for the House of Representatives, Big D. Any thoughts on that?
Well, no, I don't see the math. I mean, I don't know what he's talking about specifically, but I was listening to my friend Michael Knowles today who says that he thinks we're going to hold the house. So when he says it's being stolen, what do you mean?
Yeah, well, it's just mentioned in the chat, but we're looking for the trifecta. We want to get that third one because it's very important to get the house.
Yeah.
That's a wrap.
All right, let's do a little more news before we wrap. What else is going on, Delgado, in the news?
All right. Well, you were talking about Mark Milley. I guess he's concerned now that he'll be court-martialed following the election of Donald Trump. He made mention of this in a new book. So that's a nice headline. Good for you to maybe seek some professional help there, Mr. Milley, and get your affairs in order, because you may be it was him. He did admit that he violated Trump's orders when it came down to how to proceed in the last waning weeks or just after the election from President Trump that we landed up with President Biden. So.
Let me get to maybe what's the tweet of the year. There was you've heard a lot of talk. I love, they don't even see their own reverse psychology here. A lot of people today going, well, I don't understand the turnout thing. How could we have this turnout? There's 20 million less votes than the biggest turnout ever in 2020. You see all this from the left today? Of this.
80 million for Joe.
There's a reason.
How could we have this turnout? How could there be 20 less million? Where did they go? Where did the votes come from?
No,
so this guy Vinland on Twitter put up might be the tweet of the year. He said in response to a girl who said, "What can we do about this?" He said, well, I suppose you could try to make a case in court, but since the states haven't certified their elections, it might be difficult to establish standing. After the certification, you might have standing, but unfortunately, a court cannot overrule an act of the legislature. You could potentially try to gather a slate of alternative electors, but the Congress is under no obligation to accept them. At that point, you'd probably have to appeal to the Supreme Court, but that's tough since they don't want to be in the business of deciding elections. Then all that's left really is a good old-fashioned right of assembly for a redress of grievances, i.e. a march. January 6th is when the VP certifies the election officially, and that's probably the time you'll want to aim for to achieve maximum public impact. Good luck. And if there's a better tweet than that, I haven't seen one.
Says it all.
Because that is right on the money. Welcome to the parties, pal. All right, as always, we salute our military, active and inactive, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us, all our truckers, all our farmers, everybody that keeps the country moving. Slick, Rick, Aaron, Frank, great job as always. Most of all, thank you, the live from Studio 6B audience. Good to be back doing full shows. Congratulations to our 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. And congratulations to you, America. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here live from Studio 6B.